I say, raising hot, queer, gay, lesbo, trans MPs?
Does an MP's sexuality matter? Now and then I get the odd comment asking, what has an MP's sexuality got to do with their job? Usually followed by a request to stop such references. Sometimes nicely, sometimes with a tongue laced with venom. Let's dive deeper. Excuse the pun. Counter-argument. If political parties choose to centre sexuality and identity in their own branding, they cannot turn around and claim those same topics are irrelevant when the public mentions them. Labour, the Greens and Te Pāti Māori have spent years publicly celebrating their diverse and rainbow credentials, from pride parades to speeches highlighting who is gay, queer or transgender bender. Rainbow gets a month and Anzac gets a day. The left bloc make it vividly clear what's more important in 2026. When politicians make identity a political selling point, then it becomes part of the political conversation. You can't market something loudly and in your face, then demand silence from everyone else. Jacinda Ardern, during her Harvard University speech, said, "Our Deputy Prime Minister is a proud gay man and sits amongst several other rainbow parliamentarians." This was part of a broader point she made, describing how New Zealand has greatly increased the number of LGBTQ+ people in Parliament. The World even reported how New Zealand now has the gayest house in town. The New Zealand Parliament even has its own rainbow room for queers. Chloe Swarbrick never stops promoting queers for Palestine or queers for climate change. We're here, we're queer, we're coming for your children. She proudly promotes Lesbo t-shirts and is forever attending LGBTQ+ transgender bender rainbow parades, as do many other left bloc MPs in Parliament. It's completely hypocritical to insist that identity matters when MPs promote it, but suddenly doesn't matter or is irrelevant if I comment on it. My comments are simply recognising the political framing they created themselves. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. They can't have it both ways. Identity politics is either relevant or it isn't. Pointing out what politicians publicly highlight is not an attack, it's accountability. When MPs march under banners like Queers for Climate or Rainbow Voices for Justice, they are deliberately tying sexuality to political messaging. Discussing that messaging is no different from discussing their economic or environmental positions. If they choose to campaign on identity to win votes, then identity is fair game for public scrutiny and commentary. Parents have a right to know if a sick male pretending to be a female is watching their young daughters in the toilet. DEI politics is all about sexual perversion being included in a political agenda for clickbait voter entrapment. DEI is a left bloc sickness which needs to be eradicated from society. In a democracy, you don't get to control the narrative only when it flatters you. If politicians promote their sexuality as part of their public brand, then voters are entitled to reference it. If identity is used as a political message, then it becomes part of the political conversation. What MPs make political, the public are allowed to talk about. Full stop. End of story. When a senior MP, someone who wants to become the Prime Minister of New Zealand again, cannot answer the simplest of questions, what is a woman, then there is something seriously wrong with identity politics. My comments are one small step for real men and women, one giant leap towards a decent humanity again. I rest my case. Thank you for listening. WhangāreiTim.